Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are good. Guys, today we're going to be reacting to Heckler gets shut down with simple facts. Guys, let's get right into this without wasting any more time.
All right, so I've been watching this for some 20 odd years. Just. Oh, ma'am, you've been doing it forever. Welcome
Guys,
to the
let
First
him-
Amendment.
just-
I fought
sir,
for it.
can you just stay
see this
focused on me?
taxpayer-paid jacket?
Sir,
Thank you. I brought it overseas.
All right, sir, just ask me the
I've
question.
never really seen a guy.
So
with
what is
that
it about
kind of
conservatives and this whole
nose,
racism
honestly.
thing? Like, you guys are always just saying that it's either not a thing or it's, just not in any of the institutions or the police department. But it seems that over the past 18 years, we've had several race riots, and the biggest one being in 2020. So it's like, how are we still denying segregation in a city where we can clearly see what fucking neighborhoods are white, which ones are black, which ones are Latino, and we know how we got there. So it's like, what is it with conservatives and admitting that there's a problem and not addressing it? Because it seems like you guys want to be obsessed with, oh, the gender thing or the racism thing, and then you guys say, oh, it's not here, it's not a big problem. But why are millions of people rioting every couple years?
So let me ask you a
Because
question.
we can say that it's Democrats
Yeah,
and shit, right?
well, let me
No,
ask you a
okay, go
question.
ahead.
So what do you think is a bigger problem facing America, single fatherhood or racism?
Racism, by far. That's how
Can you
we
say
got
that?
to
Say that in the microphone.
racism, by far, because racism gets people killed, not single fatherhood.
Well, no, a single motherhood. Let me be more specific. So single moms or fathers leaving the home, you think is a bigger problem than racism?
No, sir. You're gonna have. I'm gonna repeat that one again for you. I think racism is a bigger problem than fathers being outside of the home. However, I do see
Got it.
fathers not being in the home is a problem.
Let's make sure we're defining our terms. How would you define racism then?
Racism is a system of oppression used by a certain group using prejudice, institutional power,
Got it.
and it's situated by the media, government, and all these other
So
institutions.
give me an example of one thing you as a black man cannot do that I as a white man can do in America.
Got you. Okay, so about 2 weeks ago, right? I went to a DeSantis rally. Got my ticket, all that good bullshit. Been to a million different, rallies of a kind, whether, I was a conservative at the time or whether I was a liberal, right? I know that as a black person, I am far more likely to be arrested for expressing my view, whether I am a conservative or a liberal. And I've done it on both sides. And oh yes, I was
Well,
arrested.
you were probably being a
And
jerk. That's why you were
actually,
arrested,
and
not
that's the
because
best
of the
part.
color
And
of
that's the
your
best
skin.
part, right? That's the best part. I wasn't even being a jerk. And the courts even
Okay,
found
so
our beloved courts.
Let me make sure I understand
who
this.
we love
So you
them.
think the bigger problem than fathers not being in the home is a abstract conspiracy theory that you have that hecklers and jerks at political events are arrested because of the color of their skin? That's the best definition
I'm
of
saying,
institutional racism.
no,
you have?
that's not my definition on racism. I
Well,
did
no,
tell
give
you
me
what
an
my
example
definition
of something a white man like me can do that a black man like you can't do. Because guess what?
for one-
if I showed
for
up
one-
at a DeSantis event and
sure.
started heckling, I'd be
Sure.
kicked out and arrested.
No, you would not. No, in fact,
Well,
I even have evidence.
You know how
of
I
that.
know that's true?
You wanna
Most
know-
of the
wait, do you
hecklers
wanna know
are
how
Antifa
I know it's
white
true?
suburban kids
I have
from
hundreds
Highland
of-
Park, and they're arrested a lot more, actually, when you see the mugshots. Yeah.
Oh, so white kids are arrested a lot more. Could
Well-
that possibly be? Could that possibly be?
talk
And
into
I'm
the
just-
mic?
And I'm just guessing here. Could it possibly be that white people are arrested more because you have a higher population and therefore by proximity you are more like, because it's math, it's basic math. I know we hate math. I know we hate it, but I passed
Well,
it,
okay.
unlike y'all.
So let me ask you a question. How does racism contribute to black-on-black crime in Chicago? How is
let's
white
talk
people
about
to blame for that?
Oh, actually, matter of fact, that's actually a whole other issue. So let's talk about, so you want to talk about intracommunal violence as it pertains
Yeah.
to
So what does
racism.
the white man have to do with that?
So, oh, and that's a great thing. I love the red herring that you threw in there.
No, it's-
yes,
it's-
because,
it's a question.
hey, intracommunal violence is proximal, right? So, when we have segregation and we got races sitting in one area, and you got another race in another area. Now, we never ask white people, why is white on white crime so high with white people, and but instead we focus on black people.
Yeah, so out of the 530 murders in Chicago of the last year, how many were black-on-black crime?
Hey, I wasn't looking. But you know what I
Yeah,
do know?
well
But
over
you know, hey,
420 of them were black-on-black
Sure,
gang-related
sure,
crimes.
sure.
How is that
Sure.
racism to blame for that?
let's talk. So now, are we going to talk about over policing?
I'm sorry, sir. You're kind of
Would you like to-
demonstrating. You can't answer the question.
Would you like to talk about? I mean, we can talk about it. We can.
Okay.
Are you ready to address it though?
Well-
are you ready to address it? Are you
Yeah.
ready? Because we can talk about black on black crime, but we need to talk about it as it pertains. We need to. Okay, let's talk about it, sis. I'm ready to talk about it.
All right, hold on. So
I'm ready to
let
talk
me just
about it.
let me just
I'm ready
narrow
to
this
talk
down.
about it.
So let me just say this,
All right,
okay?
all right.
So
What's
if
up?
you were to rank the 100 biggest problems in America,
Yeah.
the fact that I know we're not a racist country is the best example you have. Is
Okay,
some
so you
abstract
know we're not a
story of you
racist
getting
country
kicked
based
out of
on
a
what?
DeSantis rally. If we were a racist country, you'd say, Charlie, I can't go in a convenience store. Charlie, I can't go into school. No, we actually live in such a amazingly decent country that whoa.
Don't.
Let's not do that, okay?
All I did.
All right.
All I did was speak.
No, you're trying to pull it
Oh,
out of my
no.
Mostly peaceful, everybody. Mostly
I
peaceful,
wasn't.
okay?
I didn't lay hands on you. I didn't lay hands on
All
you. I
right.
got witnesses. I did not touch you. No.
All right.
I touched the mic.
We're going to wrap this one
Don't
up,
play.
but let me just
Anyway.
say this.
We got racism we got racism all over the U.S. We just had a race riot 3 years
Okay,
ago.
so let's
in
talk about-
2020.
wait, hold on.
And,
So-
oh my God! And then we had all 50 states plus 18 countries. But don't worry, Alex.
Wait, so
I'm
by
not
race
laying no
riots,
hands
you
on
mean
them. I used to
mass
wear the
looting
uniform
of
too.
big
I know
screen
how it works.
TVs? Let me tell you, it is not an argument in your favor that we're a racist country because blacks decide to start burning down Wendy's and stealing stuff. That's called
Actually,
criminality.
it is because
and the
you're not even
majority
you're
of
not
black
even looking
Americans
as to why it
found the
happened.
looting
You're not
to
even
be
looking as to why it happened,
objectionable.
and that's cool. And that's cool. You know, we can definitely play, obtuse on the whole issue. Yeah, black people were burning it down. Why? Racism. Racism was a big issue, and we can pretend that it's not a big issue. But hey, if you don't want to, then that's just called being obtuse. And that's why I asked you. Why did you have such a big problem with talking about racism? You want to claim that it's not there, and you can say all you want.
So
but that still doesn't prove. That still
let me
does
conclude.
not.
If you
That
want to
still does
talk
not
about
account for why
racism
we
that
have
could be
race
proven,
riots. So
let me
I
give you
guess
some
so.
examples of racism that
guess.
could be proven. How about affirmative action at this college that discriminates against Asian students and white students? How about affirmative action hiring practices in the federal government? We are such a decent, non-racist country. The best example that he has is to show that he was mistreated. And if he acted like this at the DeSantis event, I can see why he was kicked out of the DeSantis event. Next question.
So guys, this was really interesting. The guy actually has an attitude. When it comes to racism, I always give my honest review. I really do feel like racism does exist. I mean, I've seen it in movies, but let's talk about real life. I mean, I have a friend was so close here in school, and he has a junior sister who went abroad. She's schooling there, and I think like her first semester wasn't really easy for her because of racism and all, but like I always tell him, she'll get used to it, and she'll definitely adjust, find people who she can be friends with, find people who love her, and before you know it all comes down to nothing. That was just the best advice I could give at the time, because I think I know how it feels. I think sometimes racism, you can just relate it to like bullying, and trust me when I say I can relate. I really can relate. But guys, when it comes to him getting arrested at whatever rally he went to, I'm going to say this. There's something about being rude and not knowing how to behave, especially when you're in public. Don't get me wrong, a lot of you may disagree with me, but I'm just going to put this out straight, because whenever someone does something like this, see, I tend to put myself in their shoes, and I'm just going to say that whenever I go out to public spaces, whether I want to ask questions, talk with people, I behave. Yes, you behave. Now, if this was exactly how he was behaving over there, and he kind of got arrested over there, I'm really going to say maybe, because he definitely can't be the only one behaving like this and got arrested. Probably they arrested other people too. But if it's that, because, okay, fine, we saw how he behaved and we saw what transpired. And I'm just going to put this out there and say that, I feel like he was rude. If it was, a peaceful event where everyone comes up saying what they have to say and, talking calmly, and then he comes up, behaving like this, fine, I understand. But if he really meant it, and he was arrested, maybe the other people were behaving like the same way he was behaving and only him got arrested, trust me when I say I'm going to be like, yes, they were racist there, honestly. But I do believe racism exists. But I love it when I love it when Charlie asks that question, that what do you think you as a black man can do or can't do that I can do? You see, that's the question I want to get from people. Because when you watch movies, you see that let me give you a typical example. When like movies that I watch, where they have blacks and everything, you see what I classify as, racism is when maybe a black girl goes into a mart or goes into a boutique over there, and she wants to get something, and then let's say the shopkeeper is, keeping her eye on her and like just checking her out and everything. I feel, yeah, it's actually racist because there are so many other people in the store. There are white girls in the store. Why does it have to be me? Just because I'm black, just because of my color, you think I'm gonna steal from you, or whatever? Now, see, that can be considered racist. I mean, it's not fair, honestly. It's not fair. But also at the same time, you see, I believe that there are two sides to different things. Okay. Now I'm going to say this. I also believe that it may be because some people are not really racist, but like they tend to believe that the blacks actually do shoplift. And I'm going to say it's because of what they've heard about the blacks. I'm so sorry. My hair is giving me a bit of an issue, but I'm going to fix it after this video. So yeah, I'm going to say that because I'm going to give you another scenario and I want you to judge from what I'm about to say. So when right now I'm schooling in Ghana, yeah, but I am like a Nigerian. So when I found an apartment, I think beginning of, or no, like it was like 200, no, my 100 level second semester. So I found an apartment, and they found out I was a Nigerian, and they were always like, checking, and and I'm like, what's going on? Like, what happened? Okay, I didn't really bother to check in, but there's a store, yeah, there's a store in front of my school, like directly opposite my school, and then this lady, whenever you buy something, you can either pay with cash or you just like do a transfer. So whenever we Nigerians come to buy something, when someone does buy something and they're doing a transfer, once they say, "Oh, I've done it," the woman is like, "Okay, okay, thank you." But once we Nigerians come and we do transfer, and she's like, please let me see, like the receipt and everything. So we watched this thing, and I just had to ask, why is it like this? And then people were telling me because Nigerians, like some other people that they've had encounter with, they come there and they would, send money, and like they will come buy something and they will say they've sent the money, but they actually didn't send, like they won't pay. And I'm like, okay, now I hope you're getting the scenario I'm trying to paint. These are like when you have like a bad encounter with someone, you tend to watch out that that thing never repeats itself again. I don't know if you are getting what I'm saying. So yeah, it's just like, okay, she's trying to watch out because she doesn't want to have that same encounter. I mean, probably she has lost a lot of money because people were coming and not paying for their stuff. But us that were coming and were paying for it, and then she's asking, we see it as like she's being rude, or she's trying to be, how do I put it? Should I say racist? We're all black. But yeah, she's actually trying to be like that because, oh, why won't you don't do the same for your people, and then because we're not from your country, you want to treat us like this? But I also tend to understand her after hearing that scenario, because I'm like, oh, when people come, they should behave. If you are not known for something like this, people won't have to judge other people that are coming based on your actions. Do you understand? So guys, this is what I have to say. I know I totally diverted from the topic, not really though, but I think I tried to prove my point. Yeah, so I really believe racism does exist, but in the sense of what we're not allowed to do that the whites are allowed to do, I feel till I get a really solid answer, I think I'm going to stand with Charlie, because I want someone to come up and be like, you're allowed to shop, Like maybe you're allowed to shop at a convenience store without being, treated like you are something less. Yeah, I want something like that, like something valid, something strong. So guys, if you feel you've been mistreated, or you've had like an experience when it comes to racism, please drop what you think about this in the comment section. I want to read and I want to know, because from watching this so far, I haven't gotten anything solid. I mean, there was a video I reacted to. You can check my channel. It's about a girl, it was Charlie and Candice. They're replying a girl, a black girl that served in the military. And when they asked her this question, she was like, she wasn't able to make a dollar or something. Like, she's not able to make a dollar. Or see, that was so ridiculous. And at that point, I could literally laugh out loud. Like, how? I mean, is it possible that they pay the men different from the women, or they play the whites different from the blacks in the military? Because I know it doesn't work that way. But guys, when you think about this, don't forget to also like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I love you guys.